Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is the one and only, yes, your best friend, your true friend. Yeah, drop gems. Let's drop a gem. It's Ghost of Mars, as you see here. It's from 2001. Now, I'm going to go over this, give my thoughts, of course. Spoilers ahead. You know that shit. Click off. If you don't want to, go see this movie first and then come back and leave your comment thoughts. I would really appreciate that. And, yeah, I truly would, because this movie is really a movie that no one likes. It's one of Carpenter's worst, people say. It's one of his worst. And yeah, I mean, the numbers prove it. There's, 28 million, and a box office only makes 14 million. But I'm going to call this an awesome review rant. Yes, I am. This is a movie I would see at least once. I've watched it multiple times, over and over. Fell asleep to it a couple times. It's a good movie to me, man. Like, it's not an awesome movie. It's not a great movie. It's just a good movie. I mean, it's got Carpenter music. That's the thing I wanted to point out. The soundtrack, the track here is amazing. It does the job. It's so Carpenter. And the bad guy here, this big dude you see in the back, if they would have pushed this guy further, and just had him in the movie more, and I don't know, just put him in the movie more. He would have been a fucking force, boy, because he was a force as it was. When he showed up, the shit started changing, that's for sure. And this movie went another direction, and I like him. And if they would have just had him as a more presence, this villain dude, this evil guy that's leading these psychos that are possessed by an ancient force. Basically, the plot of the movie: ancient force is released on this planet of Mars, basically, and yeah, shit goes haywire. So, and you got Ice Cube there, as you can see, and Natasha Hedstridge here. She's good. She's great in the role. I like her. I like her as a badass. She's a badass. I believe it. I believe Natasha's a badass. She's been in some badass movies. So no different here, guys. She makes you believe she's this futuristic cop or whatever you say. Really, yeah. So anyways, Ice Cube does well too. I have to give it to Ice Cube. Yeah, he's corny at times, no fucking doubt about it. And you just see him and you know it's Ice Cube, but he's trying, man, and he tries all right. He's gotta give the man credit for like one of his first roles, I would think, starring supporting role. And there's a good supporting cast there, and the young Jason Statham's in there as well, so you'll like that. Jason Statham has a lot of lines, and he has a lot of dialogue and a lot of cool chemistry with Natasha here, so you'll like that chemistry. You'll like that back and forth. So, because Jason brings it, you know that. So fuck yeah, man. And they leave him in the movie for a good half of it. So let's discuss this plot though in a second, because I think I gave my ranting thoughts. So yeah, people. I do want to discuss though the mixed reviews, or what have, not even mixed reviews, but the fucking downfall or whatever, or the failure of this movie. And people would blame it on the timing, 2001. Of course, we all know what happened in 2001, and a lot of shit was not remembered. A lot of shit wasn't cared about at the time. I believe this was released in August, so that was before. So, you can't really say that, can you? Because it was released in August. So, um, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so just now we break this down and analyze this fucking movie. You can't say that an event that happened one year affected the movie, because it didn't. It happened. This movie was released before that, so I don't think I saw it in 2001, guys. I saw it a couple years after that, I'm sure, for the first time, and then ever since then I watched it once in a while on TV. It comes on TV all the fucking time. Um, and yeah, so like I said, I recommend the movie, guys. I do. I recommend a one watch. Jason Statham's in there, man, a young one. He does his job. Like, how could people knock the movie? They love Jason, don't they? I mean, he's in there. And then you got this big ass villain that's coming up. You know what's gonna happen to him? He's gonna go one on one Ice Cube. It's good. And Natasha there looking amazing. You give me more of that in this movie, definitely would have been way cooler. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But man, they look at this fucking guy. This guy right here. Look at this shit. He is gruesome. He's ready for war, man. He's ready for anything. Look at that. So we'll leave that up while we discuss this shit. This guy right here. This is the same guy. Look at this picture. Holy shit. I didn't see that one. So, I see where Carpenter was trying to go. He comes out, he directs a movie, and it has the Carpenter feel, it has the Carpenter touch, it has the cinematography quality, the cinematic quality, and of course Carpenter with his story here. He drops the ball and all that shit. So he's weak on story. Carpenter's weak on story, and he's weak on characters. Cast. I don't know what he was thinking, but I don't know who did his casting in this movie. Don't fucking care. So. Anyways, I do recommend the movie, guys. It's an awesome movie, Rant. Leave your hate down below. It's all fucking good. So let's go through the plot and end this shit. So through the plot here, you start off and you meet Natasha, and she's on a train, a transport train, going to Mars, a Mars colony, to pick up Mr. Ice Cube. He's a badass, he's a criminal. You got to pick him up for murder. Supposedly, he murders some people. So you meet Natasha, you meet her crew, with of course Jason Statham and a couple other crewmates you might recognize, and basically Pam Grier and Pam Grier from Jackie Brown. Anyways, and any other movies, and so we go to this shit, right? So they're doing their thing and shit and playing cards. Jason Statham is or whatever, killing some time for they got to go pick up Ice Cube here. And Natasha takes a drug, which I always like that part. I love that fucking beginning because she takes this drug. It's like an ecstasy pill or something. She takes it, X pill, whatever you want to say, and she takes it, and she's lost in this dream state, and the chick pulls her out. She's like, hey. She's like, yo, you want drugs? And the chick Natasha's like, nah. She's just like doesn't really answer. Basically got caught red-handed or some shit, and they're tripping. But anyways, it's a cool thing that she relies on that. Everybody can, relate to that in some way, relying on something to get you through. But she's like, yo, you gotta take this shit serious. Stop doing those things, those narcotics. Let's man up. So okay, so the crew gets there. They tell the train to wait, what have you, or some shit like that, or whatever. They get out, like you see here, and they start roaming around the colony, roaming around this base, this Mars base, and no one's there. No one's there, and there's supposed to be workers there. There's no one there, and so they're looking. So they go to the prison or what have you. Now, in between this, before they go to the prison, there's a little shit happening. They find things like weird ass things. They find some gruesome things. The team bodies are strung up, their heads are missing, their skin's all fucking mutilated and pierced, and there's weird shit hanging. Weird symbols and shit like that. So something's good not here, and they're all a little bit up in an uproar over it. But they get to the prison finally. Statham gets him in. They see Mr. Ice Cube here chilling in the prison, and he's not talking much at all. So Natasha says, "Talk, motherfucker, talk." He don't want to talk. Anyways, so she leaves him in there, and she goes and does something else with Jason, and they come back, and now Ice Cube is free. Apparently, they let him out for some reason, and he's got the gun to this chick's head. And you'll recognize this chick from a couple movies, and The Faculty is one of them, of course. But he's got the gun. Anyways, Ice Cube's got the gun to her head, and this rookie dude has got the gun. Anyways, Natasha comes in and tries to handle it, which is so cool because she's believable, and she tries to handle it. She handles it, but Ice Cube gets the upper hand, and he's out of there. He splits. So, the shit goes on here, and they're trying to find Mr. Cube. Mm-hmm. And they're looking for Cube, and she finds him and ends up helping him out because one of these psycho crazy motherfuckers comes out, persons, whatever you want to call them, and they're down here in this little area, and they start attacking Ice Cube and Miss Natasha, and there's a back and forth, but Natasha saves Ice Cube saves Natasha with a shotgun blast, killing one of these people from behind her, and then she returns the favor just a second after that. So she takes him back into custody. She's way more powerful, and it's cool, man. She's way more just better than him. I like it. I like that fucking thing. Who doesn't talk about that dynamic there with Ice Cube and Natasha and how she's just kicking his ass, I like that. Props to John Carpenter on that. Props to Natasha, Cube as well. You believe that she has the upper hand on this fucking guy. So, good shit. And anyways, she gets him back in custody. Gets him back in custody. And so anyways, Statham in the meantime is out, out searching the perimeter, searching the area. And I didn't mention one chick's picked off, Pam Grier, she's picked off, and Statham finds her head on a stake outside. And then he looks over the hill and he sees a bunch of these fucking people, as you can see, just mobbed up, and they're just chanting weird shit, and they're just in an uproar. And man, it's sick, he's like, oh fuck, we got a problem, and he tries to radio in, but he can't. There's a lot of static because a lot of shit's happening, of course, inside the building with Miss Natasha, Cube, and all them motherfuckers. But anyways, so she comes to, and they receive the call from Jericho. That's his name, Jericho. I'm gonna forget Jericho here, Mr. Statham. And they received the call. They're able to get some kind of little bit breakup transmission. And in the meantime, Mr. Statham here runs to this shed building to take cover, man. Fuck that. And he's out of there. and he runs into a couple of homies out here, 3 dudes and random dudes, and like, hey, yeah, we're survivors and shit. These people started going nuts, you know. So as he's going nuts, you know, he's like, all right, let's go. We're gonna go back to my crew. So the crew, these 3 random guys, you know, they come back with Statham to the crew, and it's cool, man. Like I didn't expect it, honestly. It was a good fake out. Like they come back and they pull guns, so they are with Mr. Cube. So they want to release Mr. Ice Cube from this prison, and they do, but they fuck up because they trap themselves in. I love it. Miss Natasha here is just way too smart, smarter than them, all 4 of them, all 3 of them, whatever, and fucking locks them all in the prison. So she has the upper hand, tells them, "Give me your guns, and I'll let you out. You cooperate. Give me the guns." They do. They get out, and she again just puts the force on one of the guys to show that she has the upper hand. You know, that she's leading this shit, that she runs this show, not yous. You know, no one here but her. Good, very good character. Fuck out of here, man. It's a strong character. Fuck, it's cool. It's a cool dynamic. Like I said, it's something that rarely you see in movies like that. They play it well. Man, shit. Give a little props there. So, anyways, yeah. Uh, you know, so they're gonna work together now, guys, from here on out, because this mob that I told you about that Mr. Statham saw and he was running from, they saw him or something, you know, whatever. They know people are there, how to have you. They come, and the big guy is coming with them, and he's leading the pack. This motherfucker's leading. Look at this shit. What an awesome costume. What an awesome makeup effects on him. You know, leave it to Carpenter and the crew. You know, props to them on this guy. They focus on him. They should have focused on him way fucking more, though, and they would have got paid off, I think, because this movie would have paid off because he was something scary. Look at that. Very scary. And he leads his crew, and this guy leads the pack in to take them all out, you know, to kill them. Whoa, boy, or whatever. And you don't want to know. And so, yeah, you know, there's a fight scene, there's a battle scene, there's some funny comedic scenes. You know, in between that, Carpenter does that well. I love how he does humor. You know, when he does the movie himself. So it's good, it's subtle, and it's far in between. But he takes it serious anyway. So this motherfuckers get together and they're like, "Fuck that! We got to make a run for the train. The train's waiting there for us. Got to make a run for the train or what have you. You know." Sorry, guys. Yeah. So they go for the train. They're shooting guns. This is the corny fuck part. See, now when you're doing a movie like this and you got a good villain and all that shit, okay, I'll let them get away with not bringing him out too much or whatever when they should have. But the action scenes are just shit corny. And you're talking 2001. I'm sure John Carpenter. I think he did Assault on Precinct 13 back in the Dizzy, so he would know. I think how to run some kind of action gunshot scenes, but it's just corny, guys. It's just so fucking corny and stupid for some reason. I can't put my finger on it, but it doesn't work, you know? It doesn't work for me. I don't know. Anyways, so they do the shoot scene, they get to the train, or what have you, and my memory fails me here. So anyways, they're possessed, blah, blah, blah. And anyways, so they get to the train, they're able to do that, but Psycho Boy here, Psycho Man, has latched on with a couple of his homies. They're on the train as well. So that's a cool part. That's what you want. You want this big dude here to finally fucking confront someone, especially Ice Cube. That would be a cool battle. And they didn't really do the battle like they should have. They had a hand-to-hand thing, but you know, this guy here, man, like, look at this fucking guy. He is so scary. He is so intimidating. He is something out of your worst fucking nightmare. And look at this shit. He's cutting off heads at one point. That scene is brutal. He's just cutting off heads like nothing and holding them up. It's to give it to Carpenter on that. Fuck that. Look at this guy. They burn his ass too. So anyways, they burn him before he jumps on the train. But he gets on the train, and you know what's going to happen here. So the confrontation happens. This big dude gets laid out, of course, by Cube. I'm pretty sure. I don't think Natasha has anything to do with it, but I don't remember. My memory fails me. Just go to Wikipedia if you want, or watch this movie. And yeah, so fucking hey, man, I thought I was going to be more excited about this rant than I am. I'm not. Fuck. You know, if I'm calling an awesome rant, guys, I'm gonna just call it a rant review because this is some fucking shit, ain't it? I just got boring. So let's wrap this shit up. So yeah, bada bada. They do their thing. They kill the big dude very easily, which sucks, and they get out of there. Basically, Cube though puts Natasha under, you know, with some drugs, I believe. Yeah, drugs her. and so he can get out of there. So he hightails shit out of there. And this whole time, Miss Natasha is telling people, her higher superiors, this whole story. So you switch back to her, and that's it. Movie ends. Whatever the fuck. It's not even worth explaining. That guy is worth it all. Honestly, he's worth checking this movie out just for him. I mean, look at these pictures. Look at this shit. Fascinating, indeed. Look at that. Real fascinating. They would have ran with that. So, anyways, the end. Fuck this rant. I'm out.